Good morning, students. So, in today's class, we will study the factors influencing HRP, okay, that is human resource planning. In the previous class, we have already studied the meaning of human resource planning and the characteristics of human resource planning. So, human resource planning is nothing but planning for the future, how many people are required, okay, to select the right people at the right job at the right time. So, today we'll study the various factors that influence the human resource planning. The first one is type and strategy of an organization. So, the type of organization, okay, so which type of organization you are having, whether small organization or big organization, whether it is a sole proprietorship or whether it is a company. If it is a company, then whether it is a private limited company or a public company. So these things, okay, these things decides how many people are required in the particular organization, okay. So how many are required at the supervisory level, how many are required at the managerial level. So that is really very important. So whether it is a smaller organization or whether it is a bigger organization. Say for example, suppose if it is a startup, okay. So when we speak about small startup, so it is a small kind of business. So here less employees are required, okay. If we consider MNCs and all, there here in the MNCs and all, bigger number of employees are required, okay, that too at a different position. So then even at the, suppose if it is a strategic plan, okay, so suppose if the company has some strategies, okay, suppose if the company is seeking for growth, okay, at that time the company requires additional employees. Say for example Amazon, okay, during lockdown Amazon thought of increasing their delivery partners, okay. They felt that we require more delivery partners because the demand was more during that time, okay. So at that time what happened, they thought of expanding the number of people required, that is the delivery people, okay. Then coming to your bad times, suppose if the company is undergoing bad times, at that time they will go for layoff or some other schemes, okay. So that is what the type and strategy used by the organization. Then the next one is environmental uncertainties. So HR manager rarely has the privilege of operating in a stable and predictable environment, okay. It's really very hard for the HR manager to work in the static environment, because as we know, okay, we cannot ignore the environment, because through environment opportunities are created and even the threats are created from the same environment, okay. That's why it is a competitive market today. We can see competition in each and every field, okay. So why the environment is not stable? Because of the environmental changes, that is political environment, social, legal, economic and technological changes affect all the organization, okay. So these whatever the factors are there, it might be political, legal, they have the direct impact on recruitment, selection, training and development programs, okay. So here what does the organization do, okay, during this changing environment? They use various mechanical tools, okay, like layoff, promotion, okay, then various channels, then they will go for VRS and all, okay. What they do, suppose if there is any economic changes, okay, or if the government has brought something new, or political parties are changed, or suppose if there is any technological changes, they will go for layoffs or maybe job sharing, okay. So it is totally on the basis of the environmental changes. So as the environment changes, the companies go for recruitment or maybe layoffs. Then the next one is time factor, okay. So time factor, it is a very important factor affecting human resource planning, whether we are going for short run or long run planning. So generally plans are for long term, okay. Short term plans will be for generally 6 months to 1 year. So and the long term plans will be generally for 3 to 5 years. So this exact time span depends on degree of uncertainty prevailing in the organizational event, okay. Suppose if it is a tech company, okay, so in a tech company every day there is new changes, okay. Every day we can say that there will be new product. So here you can't make long term plans, okay. Generally you will have to go for short term plan, that is say for 6 months or 3 months to 1 year, okay. Suppose if it is some other kind of company, then you can go for long term plans, okay. So here in case of tech companies, they go for short term plans, okay. Let it be any firm, okay, say your Samsung, Sony, Xiaomi or OnePlus, they'll go for short term plans. In fact, now the scenario is such that the product's life itself is 1 month. Okay, say suppose if the new mobile is introduced today in the market, then maybe after 2 months that product will not be having any value, because within that 2 months some other company will come with a new product. Okay, that's why what happens in these tech companies, they keep on changing. Okay, so here how you are going to change, what kind of business you are operating, that impacts your HR planning. Okay, suppose if the demand is more, okay, for your company, if the demand is more, at that time higher number of employees will be required. Suppose if the demand is less, at that time the companies will not recruit people, but they will go for layoffs. Okay, layoff is nothing but they are going to remove the people from their job. Okay, then the next one is nature of job. Okay, nature of job is nothing but what kind of job they are going to do. Okay, what kind of activities are being done. So what is the nature of job, whether it is a supervisory level job or whether it is in a factory job. So the type of vacancies, okay, should be anticipated with the nature of job to ensure that suitable candidates are being selected for the organization. Okay, then the next one is information. Okay, sorry, there is a spelling mistake over there. So information, so information plays a vital role. Okay, what type of information you are having is very important. See, suppose if you are planning for the next year, okay, the data from the previous year plays a vital role. If proper information is not obtained relating that particular job, at that time whatever the further process are there, okay, say your recruitment, selection, everything will go wrong. Okay, so you have to you must have the clear idea of what job you are having. Okay, say suppose if it is a job of accountant, so before going for recruitment and all, you have to decide the criteria, what type of people are required. Okay, whether you require freshers, whether you require experienced people. Okay, so what is the criteria, so you have to select each and everything. Okay, you from which gender you want. So if you are not getting the perfect information, see, whatever decisions you are going to make, it is totally on the basis of the information that you are having. Suppose if you are not having the right information, it's really impossible to execute your plan. That's why HRP totally depends on the information that you are having. Okay, and last one is the labor market. So what is this labor market? Labor market comprises of people with skills and abilities that can be tapped as and when the need arises. Okay, see, say if it is a tech firm example, suppose if it is a tech firm, the labor market for that particular tech firm is all the people who are working in the tech firm. Okay, all the people, as well as all those who are studying in the IT industries. Okay, IT colleges and all. So everybody who are studying and who are working, everybody comprises of your labor market. So what is the quality of labor market? Okay, suppose what is the demand and supply. Suppose if the supply is more, okay, suppose if the supply means what, suppose if the job seekers are more for that particular sector, for that particular labor market, at that time what happens, demand, suppose if the demand is less, supply is more, what happens is the organization will have the control, the organization will have to decide. What happens, suppose if the demand is less and the suppose if the demand is more, okay, take suppose the people required are more and the people available are less, at that time it is good for the employee side. Okay, whereas in the if the supply is more, at that time it is good for the organization. So labor market totally depends on the educational institutions. Okay, so what kind of people you are giving. Suppose if there are good educational institutions, if the educational institutions are teaching well, at that time the ones coming into that particular labor market will be good. Okay, suppose if the educational institutions are not good, at that time the outcome of that particular educational institutions, whatever the students are coming from that particular institute, those will be not skilled enough to perform the activities. Okay, so it totally depends on the supply of the educational markets, who is going to supply this particular labors. Okay, so labor market also has the greater impact on human resource planning. Okay, so that's it for the day. Thank you. Have a nice day.